I'm pregnant, Elvis. And yes, it's yours. What do we do now? Joyce Bova stood in her Washington, D.C. apartment, phone trembling in her hand, waiting for the king of rock and roll to respond. October 15, 1971. She was a congressional staffer with top-secret clearance, working for the House Armed Services Committee. He was Elvis Presley, married to Priscilla, supposedly faithful. For 2 years they'd conducted an affair so secret that even the Memphis Mafia didn't know. But what nobody knew until Joyce's 2013 deathbed memoir was the full truth. She wasn't just pregnant once, she was pregnant twice. The first ended in miscarriage. The second, Elvis paid $50,000 for an abortion that nearly killed her. But the most shocking revelation was that their affair wasn't random. Elvis had specifically targeted her because of her congressional position. He wanted information about his draft status, FBI investigations, and government surveillance. The love was real, but it started as espionage. Joyce Bova wasn't just Elvis's mistress, she was his unwitting intelligence source who fell in love with her target. Have you ever been seduced by someone who needed more than your body? Who needed your secrets? That was Joyce Bova's story with Elvis Presley. But to understand how a Capitol Hill professional became entangled with the king, we need to go back to their calculated first meeting. September 3, 1969, the International Hotel, Las Vegas. Joyce was there on official business. The Armed Services Committee was investigating organized crime in Vegas casinos. Elvis was performing his comeback residency, but their meeting wasn't chance. Elvis had been informed by his FBI contacts that Joyce had access to his Selective Service files, his FBI surveillance records, and classified information about government monitoring of celebrities. Joe Esposito, Elvis's road manager, later admitted, Elvis targeted her. He knew exactly who she was before they accidentally met. He needed someone inside Washington, and she was perfect, beautiful, accessible, and lonely. The introduction was staged. Elvis happened to spot Joyce in the audience, had her brought backstage. I don't usually do this, he lied. But something about you, I need to know you. Joyce, 23 years old, working 80-hour weeks in a male-dominated Congress, was overwhelmed. Elvis Presley wanted her. But Elvis's first questions should have been red flags. So you work in Congress. That must be fascinating. What exactly do you do? Within 10 minutes he knew her security clearance level, her access to files, her committee assignments. He was charming, but he was also conducting an intelligence interview. October 1969. Their affair began. But it was unlike Elvis's other relationships. He insisted on absolute secrecy. No Memphis Mafia knew. Priscilla wasn't to suspect. Joyce could tell no one, not even her family. The cover story. She was a government liaison helping Elvis with his federal agent aspirations. Elvis would fly her to Memphis on government-looking documents, making it seem official. He'd register her in hotels under false names with State Department credentials. The affair was conducted like a covert operation because in many ways it was. November 1969. Elvis made his first request. Baby, I need a favor. Can you check if the FBI has a file on me? I'm worried about something. Joyce, in love and trusting, accessed the files. She copied documents showing Elvis was under surveillance, that the FBI considered him a person of interest due to his drug use and weapon collection. She thought she was helping her boyfriend. She was actually committing federal crimes. The intelligence Joyce provided was invaluable. FBI surveillance schedule, DA investigation status, IRS audit preparation, draft board internal discussion, congressional hearing plans about entertainment industry drugs. December 1969. The relationship deepened beyond intelligence. Elvis began genuinely falling for Joyce. She was different from his other women. Educated, independent, challenging. She'd debate politics with him, correct his conspiracy theories, teach him about government process. You're the smartest woman I've ever been with, he told her. You make me think. But Joyce was falling deeper. She was risking her career, her freedom, everything for stolen moments with Elvis. She'd leaked classified information during pillow talk, not realizing Elvis was recording their conversations. His paranoia extended even to his mistresses. February 1970, the first pregnancy. Joyce realized she was pregnant during a congressional hearing on military appropriations. Morning sickness hit while she was taking classified notes. She couldn't tell anyone. An unmarried congressional staffer pregnant by Elvis Presley would destroy her career and his marriage. She called Elvis from a secure phone at the Capitol. I'm pregnant. Elvis's response was immediate. I'll handle everything. Don't worry. But his solution was brutal. You need to make it go away. I'll pay for everything. Joyce refused. This is our child, Elvis. Your child. Elvis flew to Washington that night. They met at the Watergate Hotel. Ironic, given what would happen there 2 years later. Elvis was tender but firm. "Joyce, I love you, but this can't happen. Priscilla would take Lisa Marie. Your career would be over. The press would destroy us both." But nature made the decision for them. March 3, 1970. Joyce miscarried at 11 weeks. She was alone in her apartment, bleeding, unable to call anyone because the affair was secret. She cleaned up her own miscarriage, went to work the next day, and never told anyone except Elvis. Elvis's reaction revealed his true feelings. "Maybe it's for the best, but Joyce, part of me wanted that baby. With you I could have been a different man, a better man." April 1970. The affair intensified. The miscarriage had created a trauma bond. Joyce and Elvis were united by loss, by shared secret grief. He flew her to Vegas monthly, to Memphis when Priscilla was away. He bought her a car registered to a shell company. He paid her rent through untraceable cash. He was keeping her, but carefully, invisibly. Joyce continued providing intelligence. She warned him about upcoming drug legislation. She informed him of congressional investigations into payola. She even got him advance notice of his Nixon meeting. She knew about the federal agent badge possibility before Elvis did. Have you ever been someone's secret so completely that you started disappearing? That was Joyce's life. September 1971. The second pregnancy. This time, Joyce was certain who the father was. She'd been with no one else for 2 years. She was also certain she wanted to keep it. At 25, with a stable career, she thought she could raise a child alone. Elvis's reaction was different this time. Colder, more calculated. "You can't have this baby, Joyce. I won't allow it." The word allow chilled her. She wasn't his wife, wasn't officially anything to him, yet he claimed ownership of her body. October 15, 1971. The phone call that changed everything. "I'm pregnant, Elvis. And yes, it's yours. What do we do now?" This time Elvis didn't fly to her. He sent someone else. Colonel Parker's personal physician, Dr. Max Shapiro, arrived at Joyce's apartment with $50,000 cash and an ultimatum. "Miss Bova, Mr. Presley has been generous. This money is for your medical needs and your silence. There's a clinic in Puerto Rico, discreet, safe. You leave tomorrow." Joyce realized she wasn't being asked. She was being told. October 20, 1971. San Juan, Puerto Rico. The clinic was more like a hotel with operating rooms. Joyce was checked in under a false name, Maria Gonzalez. The procedure was supposed to be simple, routine. It wasn't. Joyce hemorrhaged. Her blood pressure crashed. For 3 hours she hovered between life and death. Dr. Shapiro, who'd accompanied her, made a cold calculation. If Joyce died, the scandal would destroy Elvis, so he made extraordinary efforts to save her, not for her sake, but for Elvis's reputation. She survived, but barely, and like Anne Margaret years earlier, the damage meant she'd never be able to have children again. November 1971. Joyce returned to Washington. She was alive but hollow. The affair with Elvis had cost her the ability to ever be a mother. She threw herself into work, but the spark was gone. Elvis called once to confirm she was okay, and that everything was handled. He never mentioned the baby, the procedure, the near-death experience, just wanted to confirm his problem was solved. But Joyce wasn't done with Elvis. She had something he didn't know about: evidence. Throughout their affair, Joyce had kept records. Not for blackmail, but for memory. Hotel receipts, plane tickets, photos, and most dangerously, recordings. She'd taped some of their phone calls, including ones where Elvis discussed illegal activities, government bribes, and his drug dealings. She had enough to destroy him. December 1971. Elvis learned about Joyce's evidence. Through his FBI contacts, ironically the same ones Joyce had helped him monitor, Elvis discovered Joyce had materials. He panicked. If Joyce went public, it wouldn't just be a sex scandal. It would be espionage, government corruption, federal crimes. Colonel Parker took control. He sent his lawyers to Joyce with an offer: $100,000 for everything, all photos, recordings, documents, and a non-disclosure agreement that would put her in federal prison if she ever spoke about Elvis. Joyce's counteroffer shocked them. She didn't want money. She wanted something else. "I want Elvis to know the truth. I want him to know that I loved him, that our child would have been born in June 1972, that it would have been a boy, and that I was going to name him Jesse after his twin." The lawyers were confused. "That's all? That's all. Tell him, and I'll sign everything." Elvis received the message on December 2071. According to Jerry Schilling, who was present, Elvis locked himself in his room for 3 days. When he emerged, he'd written a song that was never recorded, titled Jesse's Shadow. The lyrics included, "Two brothers lost before they lived, one at birth, one at greed, both named Jesse, neither freed. January 1972. Joyce signed the NDA and disappeared from Elvis's life. She continued working in Congress, eventually becoming a senior staffer on the Intelligence Committee. Ironic, given her past. She never married, never spoke publicly about Elvis, never violated the agreement, but she kept one thing the lawyers didn't know about: a diary. The diary detailed everything. Every meeting with Elvis, every piece of intelligence she'd leaked. The pregnancies, the abortion, the cover-up. She wrote, "I was a spy who fell in love with my target. Elvis was a target who fell in love with his spy. We destroyed each other in the name of protecting each other." August 16, 1977. Elvis died. Joyce was in a congressional hearing when she got the news. She excused herself, went to the bathroom and sobbed. She was mourning not just Elvis but the children who were never born, the life that never was. She attended the funeral, lost in the crowd of 80,000, unknown and unrecognized. Joyce was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. The doctors theorized it might have been connected to the botched abortion in 1971. Infections that were never properly treated, damage that festered for decades. She was dying from the procedure Elvis had forced on her 23 years earlier. Before her death in 2013, Joyce made a decision. She would write her memoir, to be published posthumously. The NDA died with Elvis. The story needed to be told. Don't Be Cruel. My Secret Years with Elvis was released in 2014, revealing everything. The book's most devastating revelation wasn't the affair or the pregnancies. It was a letter Elvis had written to Joyce in 1973, after their affair ended. "Joyce, I dream about our son sometimes. Jesse Jr. you would have called him. He has your intelligence and my voice. He's about 2 now, in my dreams, walking, talking, calling me daddy. I know it was impossible, but impossible things haunt me the most. Thank you for your silence. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for loving me enough to let me destroy you. I'm sorry. Love, A." Joyce never responded to the letter, but she kept it, pressed between pages of a congressional record about government surveillance fitting, since their entire relationship had been about watching and being watched. The Congressional Ethics Committee investigated Joyce posthumously in 2014. Their conclusion: she had indeed leaked classified information to Elvis Presley between 1969 to 1972, but since she was dead, and Elvis was dead, and the information was decades old, they sealed the file. Have you ever loved someone so much you'd commit treason for them? That was Joyce Bova. She gave Elvis government secrets. He gave her dead children. She gave him intelligence that kept him from federal prison. He gave her a lifetime of empty arms. It was the worst trade in romantic history, classified information for classified pain. Joyce Bova died on November 15, 2013, at age 67. Her last words to her nurse: "Tell them I kept my promise." 42 years of silence. Even God can't say I didn't love him enough. In her apartment, investigators found a box marked Jesse. Inside were 2 items: a 1972 calendar with June 15 circled and marked due date, and a baby's hospital bracelet that was never used reading "Baby Boy Bova, Father E. Presley." She'd carried the grief for 42 years. 2 pregnancies, 2 losses, 1 forced, 1 natural, 0 children, and enough government secrets leaked to put her in federal prison for life. All for love of a man who was using her for intelligence while she was using her intelligence for him. The ultimate tragedy. In her diary, Joyce wrote, "I would do it all again, even knowing the ending, even knowing the cost. Some loves are worth destroying yourself for. Elvis was mine."